reunion to come in on today because it's important. Today is the last weekend, the last Friday before Election Day. So if you have not made plans to vote, please show up at the polls. We need you. We need you to participate. It is a right that we had to fight for, some of us. So don't take it for granted. Show up, let your voice be heard. Don't let anybody tell you you don't matter. You do matter. If you didn't matter at election time, all these people who don't really know you wouldn't show up rallying for your votes. You do absolutely matter. Um, so we're just going to get started. We're going to get on our way. And Steph, what you got going on? You got anything you want to say to the people on 1420 just getting going?
I just want to say, a lot of people say that primaries are not important to get out and vote, but this is an important primary. We need you to get out and show your support. We need um, we have some important issues for local government that need to be covered, and we need your support. We need you to get out here. These local elections, the national elections are important, but these local elections are the elections that affect your everyday life. So we need you to get out and vote. Your black job or your whatever color your job is to vote. Whatever you are, your job is to vote.
Yes, you said it right. It's our black job to vote. That's my first job. That's
That's
my
my
first
first
black job is to vote. You said that right, Stephanie.
one.
Um, and well, everybody act like he done said something crazy, but kinda he didn't because we know what those black jobs are. They usually don't pay good. They're usually labor intense jobs. They're usually the jobs that nobody else wants to work. I'm sure those were the jobs he was speaking of, but we all know we came up. And the reason you need to vote is so you don't have to take a black job. You can take an American job that you qualify to do. And then, it could be anything, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a school teacher, an activist, a podcaster, actor, singer, songwriter, director, producer. There's thousands of jobs out there. You can be a manager at a restaurant, a hotel, or whatever. So the fact that he thinks in 2024 there's a such thing as a black job tells me we do have a job to do. And like I said, my number one black job is to make sure I'm at that poll and I vote. And I want you to do the same. Don't take anything for granted. Don't assume that somebody won't do you in because that's from yesterday, because you have a lot of people that desire to take you back to a place that wasn't comfortable for us. So just keep that in mind and know that it is serious, know that it is important, know that even if you don't want to vote or you don't think they'll count you, do it for us then. Do it for your grandmother whose social security is in danger. Do it for your
No, do it
grandmother,
for
for your
your
grandfather's
grandmother and
Medicare that they're
grandfather who
coming
fought.
after.
Do it for your grandmother and your grandfather that fought for you to be able
Yeah,
to vote. Do it for them.
that's
That
right. A
they
lot
are.
of people laid it down. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people laid it down so that you can vote. And if you're on 1420 listening, if you're part of the 1420 family and you want to continue the community conversation, log on to Facebook or YouTube at 810 News Media Group, and you can pick up the rest of the conversation. On the 1420 side, we like to get the highlights of what we're going to be discussing out there. And we want you to take these conversations back home with you and discuss them at your dinner table or at watching the TV with your young folks. Get them engaged, to get their minds thinking in that direction because it matters. It makes a difference in their livelihoods, what kind of lifestyles they'll be able to live, if they're going to be able to participate in the American dream. You have some people who want your American dream to be a nightmare. And I will not sign up for that. And I hope you won't either. So get out there and do it for them. If it doesn't matter to you, do it for somebody that loves you, who it does matter to. That's the first thing that I want to say. Um, Steph, what else you want to say about that?
First of all, let me give some shout outs. Asaya Aquil. I think did I pronounce your name right? If I didn't, baby, don't take it personal. But Asaya Aquil, thank you for your support. Hey,
Hey,
Shayna Shepherd. I just missed somebody else's. Marcus. Hey, Marcus. Oh, from Fairfield, California. Okay, Marcus. B Marie, hey, how
Hey,
you
B Marie.
All right, I just look
Yeah.
like
So
Tom
yeah,
Jordan used to say, we don't do shout outs, but if we did, hey y'all.
I know that's right. Hi,
Hey people
Nikki.
from
Yep. If we did do
Kentucky.
shouts out, we'd be
Okay.
shouting all you guys out. Somebody from Kentucky. Hello, Reed
Hi,
Johnson. We
Bree.
appreciate you guys' the support. Tasha, thank you so much. We appreciate all the support, all the time you take out, Mr. Ronald, all the time you take out to share with us and to participate and to let us know, if we on point or if we off point or if you think our topics are irrelevant. But I promise you, if you think our topics are irrelevant, it's just because that topic hasn't hit your household. But trust, they're coming because we try to stay on top of things that will enhance your lifestyle, your quality of life, or maybe give somebody that's coming up behind you a boost to success or towards success. Also, they have an app out, and I should have had that if your child is going to a HBCU, there's an app that you can apply to up to
Right,
65 HBCUs for
right.
20 bucks. And so I am going to get that because I don't have it right here before me. So please forgive me. But I am going to share that information with Mickey so he can post it on the 810 News Media Group web page or Facebook page and YouTube page, as well as 1420. I will have that, I promise you, where I can share that with you. On the next go. And maybe I can pull it up now. I
Whatever.
don't want to, I be hating to make moves while I'm on with you guys because y'all know I mess something up and be the
Yeah. No,
disconnected from
don't
y'all.
no, no, no. Don't you mess with it while you on the air, because
I
we
already did it, but I think I
oh
got it.
Lord, oh Lord.
I
Nikki,
think
Lord, she gonna get bounced.
I know it. I know it. So I'm trying. I'm over
my,
here. I'm still
my
going
poor
on the
friend, I love
40.
her, but she is technologically challenged.
Oh, I'm crippled. I'm so crippled when it comes to this technology. But I'm going to, and then excuse the feeding because I got my family reunion, but I'm going to take time to do my black job and come on ATN News Media Group as well as 1420 and share information with you all. I think it is extremely important that we stay connected. And so that app is okay, it says parents of seniors. If your child wants to attend an HBCU, have them apply in the Common Black College app. They pay a one-time fee of $20 to apply to up to 65 HBCUs. So Mickey, can you post that to the web page? That is Common
And
Black
we are
College app.
big advocates of HBCUs. Although I did not graduate from Tennessee State, I started off my college career at Tennessee State, and Jack and Carol is a proud graduate of Jackson State University. So we advocate for HBCUs. I think it is one of the best things. That was like life experience boot camp when we left home and went to HBCUs. And I think that all children, if you're gonna start, that's where you start off at. You'll get a
And
foundation that you'll never ever even be able to understand or realize. My daughter just graduated
Marcus's
from
daughter
Howard.
just graduated from
All
HBCU.
right, Marcus, HU.
And tell her congratulations. And when Stephanie was at Tennessee State University, we used to drive over, me and my friend girls from Jackson State, and come harass Stephanie, and Stephanie used to come see us. And it was
Girl,
just a really good
I had a
time. And
Chevette. I had a Chevette, and my daddy, I came home. My daddy said, "You done brought the tires out on the car,
you
girl."
wore them tires out riding up and down that highway
Oh
because it
yeah,
was an amazing experience. It was just to be a part of that and just to be in the mix. Oh my God, just to be at the games and the band and the
oh yeah.
camaraderie.
Look, you didn't go to watch the game. You went to the halftime show.
That's what we go to homecoming right here today, and we don't even sometimes go in the game. We do
Until
the tailgate,
halftime.
and then we go in the game at halftime to see the Sonic Boom and the Majorettes because they be busting down, and you just can't miss it. It's always a great experience. So if you have a senior or if you have a junior that is expecting to go to college coming up, start applying early. Make sure they take their ACTs. I don't know if they do the ACT anymore or is it the SATs.
I
I've been
think
out of
they
school
put
so
more
long.
weight on the SAT, but I think they still do the ACT. But Marcus Felder, congratulations on your daughter graduating from HU, the Mecca. I used to live out on the East Coast in the Washington D.C. area, so I know they had that little wide rivalry between Howard and Hampton, but that's the HU.
Yeah, so
So
that and that's how it is. It's always a rival, but you know what? It's always out of love and
always out of
seldom
love.
times. Yeah, seldom do you go to a HBCU game. I haven't been to any games or heard of any games where it gets so out of hand, somebody come up unalive. It don't be like that. It's all love and it's a
Nah,
great
it's just
experience.
the battle of the bands. That's all in the major bets. That's all. It's just fun. That's all. It's all. You know what? At the end of the day, everybody be in the parking lot kicking it with each other and stuff afterwards. It's all love. So um
Yes, it is.
well, okay, we've done our HBCU rant. But if you can get your children to go to HBCU, but now we need to get, because we got an election coming up. We have our first ward candidate, Carol McIntosh. She's going in for the primary right now, so we need all of the first ward residents to get out to come and vote for Carol. Carol will, if Carol, the how the primary system works in Flint, the two top candidates go on to the November
General
election.
election.
So we want
Yes.
Carol. So Carol, we want Carol. You guys got to get out there and vote. We need Carol in that seat to get the first ward back moving again. I have been disheartened with some of the things that have been going on recently. As
Steph,
Carol.
hold on one second. Let me because we got hold on
Oh,
once because
okay,
we got
Nikki
three
Bailey,
minutes
how
left
you doing?
on the
Okay, go on
We
ahead.
got 3 minutes left on the HBCU side. Oh my God. On the 1420 side. So log on to 810 News Media Group on YouTube or Facebook. The topics of discussion, we're going to talk about the gun violence situation. We have three more people that have passed on due to gun violence in the community. So we need to address those issues. As I knocked doors, I was so upset to hear some of the things that people were going through that we could have we have basic fixes for. We just have to have people that are motivated to work for the residents and put themselves aside. So that's what we're asking our representatives to do. Put themselves aside and think about the community and our residents, and the least of our seniors, who should be living their best lives right now, having clean, drinkable water from the taps. They shouldn't have to worry about if they're sitting on their porch, are they going to be caught in a ride by shooting? We need to do something about our sidewalks. They are terrible. Our seniors need to be able to get out, walk, get exercise, enjoy the weather. We have to think about things like that. And we're also going to be discussing um, what needs to be done to get clean, drinkable water from the tap. So those are some of the things we're going to be discussing on the flip side. It is 5:14. Stephanie, do you want to say bye to 1420? We have 1 minute.
1420 folks, thank you for sitting in with us on our community conversation. Again, Tuesday is voting. It's August the 6th is primary day for voting. Please get out. There's a couple of races that are in locally. There's one race in particular in the 7th ward. We need you guys to get out and vote, okay, so we can affect change. Thank you
And
so
that's
much.
Jan Marie Arbor in the 7th ward. If you're ever in the 7th ward, we are asking you to support Jan Marie Arbor. She's a straight shooter. She's for the people. She says what she means and she means what she says. If you're in the 1st ward, please support Carol McIntosh, over 50 years in the 1st ward, constantly fighting and standing up for our community, putting self aside. I do not have a 501c3, so you don't have to,
You
you
got
can
a real job.
a day job, right? I have a real day job. I don't know if any of the other candidates against me, I think a lot of them are retired or working for themselves. So my point is, I promise to be dedicated to working for the residents, doing what is best for the 1st ward, confronting the issues that we face instead of hiding from them, and telling the truth. I have no reason to lie to you about it because you live it every day and you know if you're not being represented. So I'm asking you to vote for me, and I guarantee you I will not let you down. I will do the best job that I can possibly do, and I'm willing to work with anybody. I don't have to love you to work with you, but I respect everybody who comes to the table to do what's best for our community. When you bless me to sit in this seat, I will bless you and do the work. I promise you. So thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for those who have already supported me. Remember, election day is August 6th. This will determine what two candidates will be on the November ballot. And I need your support. So thank you so much for all the support I've already received. And thank you so much for the support on this 1420 news broadcast, community conversation. Um, because we're just trying to let you know what's going on in our communities and trying to stand strong for the people, giving you the news that you won't see on local news, telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. You need to know what we're up against, and we're committed to sharing that with you. So thank you so much. Love yourself, love somebody else. Until next Friday, peace. Thank
God
you. Bye
bless you.
bye.
All right, so now we're back on the 810 side. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things. The violence that we're experiencing, the uptick on the violence, and the ages of the people that are being affected is really concerning. I mean, we had a 3-year-old shot and a 12-year-old and then a 26-year-old that actually passed away. So condolences to the family and prayers to the young children, that the 3-year-old and the 12-year-old that were hurt. Hopefully they are recovering, and again, we're gonna keep them in prayer for a speedy recovery. Condolences to the family of the 26-year-old. The senseless crime has to stop. And with the uptick, it's just amazing to me. We need to have some kind of community. We need to have that's Carol's family reunion, y'all. Um,
Bye. Hops
we
and
have
Bugs family reunion.
we need to have some community. It's time for the community to get involved. We need to have some kind of round table, or I don't know. I mean, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we're meeting doubt. I don't know, but it's time for the community to come together, because we see that we can't depend on the powers that be to step up. So it's time for us to try to step up as a community to try to make a difference.
Yes. Um, and we need to have it needs to be a call for a special meeting to deal with the uptick in crime and in gun violence and the gang violence.
Yep.
We're going to address this. We can't keep having people sitting in important positions making decisions for us and pretending like they don't know what problems we really face on a daily basis. This gun violence thing, it's out of control and it's not stopping. We can pretend like these things aren't happening. These things are happening, and they're happening in our community. And it's almost like we're ignoring them. We have to address these issues. We do need that public safety plan. We do need a gang task force unit to address it, because it has to be addressed, and I just don't see it um, stopping anytime soon. And that's sad. That's sad for us. And also, I did want to talk about this. We're we're starting a program for young girls, youth, at the Spirit of Victory Church with the pastor Jannard Lakes. And so I'm looking forward to that. Pastor Lakes mentors young people. He's been there before. He can speak from experience. He's got into trouble when he was a young man, and he changed his life, and he's turned himself around, and now he's a leader in our community. So I think it's important for our young people to hear from people who have actually walked in their shoes and who knows what it's like to live in a community and to be forgotten about. It's not always easy to overcome those types of circumstances, but one thing about it, when you hear about overcoming from somebody who's actually overcame, it makes a difference. So we want to keep that in mind. that Spirit of Victory is starting. I mean, they already are mentoring for the young men, and now they're going to start mentoring for the young women. And I'm going to be in full participation. I volunteered to assist with that. You know,
I have
people
also.
Right. People often say, well, what is she doing in the community? Well, I've worked with, we had Sharima on our show, and what they do is make diaper bags and clothes and onesies for young families, young students that have children that can't afford those things. And I support them and I push for them to get financing. I also yield to the call of the elderly when they call me with broken street lights, needing to know which way to go, uh, concerning legal issues, all kinds of things. Have bought people water out of my pocket. I'm working around the clock. The difference is I have a hard time discussing those things because I think when you do stuff for people, you should do it from your heart, not to brag about it on Facebook. The reason I'm sharing it with you now is because I've heard people say, "What is she do?" Look, I've been doing this for over 12 years. I have 28 years as a UAW member. I've also operated in the union capacity to serve. I've been a delegate on the recreation committee, amongst a few things. So when I hear that, it's just so sad. And then I'm doing this right here to bring public awareness to situations that you often wouldn't hear about. Um, and I just want to say, we need to understand how our local government works. The city council is the legislative branch, and the mayor, the administration, is the executive branch. It is not required that you go along with everything that the executive branch presents to you. That is
You're
not what
working
you're
for the
elected
people.
for,
You are
to
working
go
for the
along, to get
people.
along. You're elected to represent what's best for the people. You are elected to represent the residents and to work with the mayor and the executive branch to yield positive returns on the people's efforts, tax-paying dollars, expectations, to make sure they get the things that they need so that they can participate in a positive manner in our local economy. That is how that is supposed to work. You're not supposed to just roll over and give it up because somebody with a title asked. That's how you end up with an emergency manager. That's how you end up with poison water for 10 years because people feel like it's their job to suck up and to kiss up. And when they do that, who will represent you? Who will speak up about the just out here canvassing? Me and Stephanie have been canvassing. Um, and Stephanie, have we not seen some heartbreaking situations? Buckets in people's homes catching water, tarps
Oh
on
my
roofs,
God. Buckets,
yes,
catching water, tarps,
crumbling
porches,
steps,
crumbling steps.
sidewalks tipped all the way over.
Mhm.
Some people don't even have a sidewalk or a
Yeah.
curve.
That
Okay,
one
but
that one place was disturbing, that the sidewalk was literally the instead of laying like this, the slab was
you
like this because of
Mash
trees.
outside. Hi, Miss Bear. Yes,
Hey,
it
Miss
was.
Bell.
It was the sidewalks are hideous, and this is what upsets me because back in the day when I was growing up in Flint, when our sidewalks and our water was good, and
Mhm.
when the streets were safe, and you didn't have to worry about getting gunned down
When we
during
had to be in when the street lights came on, when we could hang out
right.
on
You didn't have to
the
worry
stairs.
about getting killed in a ride by. The
Mhm.
sidewalks were nice. You would see senior people, you would see seniors out there on walkers and canes, walking up and down the sidewalk, just taking it all in. When our community was good, and it can still be that, but it's
Mhm.
up to us to make it that way. Nobody's gonna pamper us. We have to stand up for ourselves. We were
I just
poisoned by
looked at
our
some of
governor.
I
Who
looked
has
at
stood
some of
up
the
for
people.
you?
Yeah, I've looked at some of the houses that we touched upon, and you know what? We have some people out here. They are still working hard. They're still taking pride in their community, in their homes and as homeowners and things. But then we have a group of elderly people now that just can't do it anymore.
Are
They
not
can't.
able.
Yeah, they're
And,
not
and then
able to do it anymore.
And you got
And
so many seniors cutting their grass, people,
mhm,
period, residents cutting their grass in the lot next door that
mhm.
somebody else owns, land bank, you know.
And then you've got
Um,
other people that just it's so bad, like the houses are eyesores that they just can't. I mean, they just you remember that one lady that was talking about she put up a privacy fence just because she was like
Yes,
she was tired of trying to
yes.
maintain the property. So she said, I just put up a privacy fence so I don't have to look at it. It's
And
just
that's sad
sad.
because she can't sit at her house. She's got
Mhm.
her place beautified. She's taking care of her property. But it's depressing when the house next door to you is burned up, the roof is gone, and it's wide open, and people are dumping next door to you because it creates rodent issues. Then when the grass is so high, now you can't sit out there because it's mosquito infested. Mosquitoes carry disease. Look, let's stop pretending like these things don't matter because they do. But I'm going to tell you, if I am blessed enough to sit in that seat, I will address those issues. I will work, even if I'm working with the residents to set up some type of process where we can go out and trim these grasses and whatever we can do ourselves. I'm committed into looking into that. But the first thing, we have to get drinkable water. I'm committed to finding out what is the holdup with the water money. What is the holdup with getting our water restored? Okay. What is the holdup with getting some of these properties that were supposed to be demoed years ago that are still standing and being eyesores and being nuisance to residents that are hanging on paying, and then the taxes have went up. People's summer taxes have gone up, so the taxes are steady going up and the services are steady dwindling down. So there's some things that we should be receiving as American citizens that we're not receiving, and I'm committed to fighting for those things for our community. And like I said, I never worked with the mayor. We've never worked together on anything. So when I hear that I don't get along with the mayor, that's ridiculous. I've never had an issue with the mayor because we've never dealt with each other in a business manner, in a public service manner, or in a personal manner. Now, I'm not happy with some of the things that are going on, and he is the top executive. So it is his responsibility to make our communities better than what they are. So, yes, I do hold him responsible for that. But I know he can't do it alone either. I know he can't do it all by himself. He's one person. But I am dedicated to checking with the to see what federal allocations we qualify for and trying to get those things to our community. I'm dedicated to that. Um, I'm dedicated to getting a public safety plan that will secure us a safe community. I'm dedicated to finding out what is going on with our young people. And then the sad part about it is a lot of our young people that are fall into these crimes, they're not even involved in gangs. People that they know are in a gang and they're being targeted
Yeah,
for a
it's a family
retaliatory
member, it's a
situation.
sister
And
or
they're
brother.
living, yes, they're living decent, upstanding lives. Some of these children have been honor students and they're
Mhm.
being robbed of their future
Yeah,
because these things aren't being addressed. I'm dedicated to a better first ward. I'm dedicated to a better Flint. I'm dedicated to a better future for our young people. And I am willing to extend the olive branch and work with anybody who can yield us that as long. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sell my community out for a few dollars. Now, if that's what people call working with other people, then no, I won't do that. I'm not interested because I believe that God will provide for me and I will be okay, but I'm one individual. I'm dedicated into putting work in to those who don't have a voice, for those that may not have representation, for those who fear for their safety if they speak up and call out some of these atrocities in my as far as I'm concerned. At this point, these are atrocities when young people are dying on a daily basis and we're doing nothing about it. We're saying nothing about it. How come these things aren't being discussed on a regular basis on our local news? There is a crisis going on in our community. And so, yes, I will address any crisis. I don't care who's trying to sweep it under the rug. When I know the first word is suffering, I am going to step up and represent because I feel like that's what a good city council person does. It doesn't mean that you don't like somebody because you don't agree with them. It doesn't mean that you have to cut everybody's throat because their position is different from yours. It means getting with those people to try and find common solutions and resolutions to make a better day for the residents. It means trying to get the things that the least of the who are in their twilight years who deserve to be able to sit on their porch without getting shot, who deserve to be able to walk up and down their sidewalks without breaking a hip because the sidewalks are so dilapidated and tore up. I'm dedicated to getting vacant homes knocked down so they won't be dumping sites for people that don't even live in our community that bring their trash to our community and dump because they know there's nobody watching and standing up and speaking out for us on our behalf. I'm dedicated to being that voice.
You know what? Another thing that I wanted to talk about too, from to when we were walking around, that I noticed there were there were blocks of of streets that were just, there was nothing there, like just the whole block was just gone. And
Yeah,
it
they
was
look
just,
like war zones. They look like
yeah,
somebody
I
had
was like,
literally
this looks
dropped
like,
bombs.
yeah, it looks like Ukraine. Or it it was sad. I would like to
It
see
was.
that I would love to see us try to do something different as far as like um getting that back together, where we have where they're building houses. Or I mean, I know there's pockets, like I know they're doing a lot in the Fifth Ward, especially where they're building some new houses and condominiums and things. I was looking at how they were putting those together. It looks like they dig a hole, put it on a slab, and then they've got the two top floors prefabricated. I would love to see some stuff going on like that over on the in the first ward, over on the streets, like I think, was it Elmer that we were on, or Holbrook, one of those streets. It's in that area. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was just disheartening. It was overgrown. The grass and stuff was overgrown and everything, and I get it. We still have some really good, strong people over there in that area that are trying to take care of what they can, but yet and still, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's too much for a few people to do. It's time to get together. I would have loved to see some of that ARPA money that none of the residents got, um, for something like that, at least to clean it up, or to because these empty fields and empty and houses and things like that, I mean, we haven't had anything, I think, lately, not unless I'm being remiss. I could not, but because we don't know everything, we don't hear any news, not unless somebody just happens to come across it, or Tanya Burns is out. but
Yeah,
yeah, but we have those are breeding grounds for crime. You're finding
gang violence,
gang violence, dead. I
drug
mean,
abuse, because
drug,
it's
dead
depressing. It's
bodies.
depressing.
Yeah.
And that type of trauma is what brings on mental illness issues, breaks you
Mhm.
down mentally, brings on alcohol and drug abuse, abandonment of our children because it's just too much for some parents to deal with. I do want to say that if I am elected, when I am elected, no, I'm not going to go there to, I'm not there to fuss and argue and fight with anybody and get you told the best. I can do that on my own time. I don't have to be a city council person to get you told. I can step up there during those 3 minutes to do that. But that's not what I'm there for. If I'm blessed enough to be there, I want to see our community do better. They deserve better. We are in America too. The American dream is for us as well. We deserve, we pay our taxes, we put in the work. We have to have leadership that represents us, that cares about us as a community. What is the difference between green and traditional neighborhoods? I'm not exactly sure, but this is what I can tell you about this green mess. It means they're not going to allow us to build. And I think they're saving
Mhm.
the land for them to build. And
I
eventually
think
that
a
means,
green neighborhood is a good way for them to try to. It's a label that they're using to try to marginalize us and keep us out the way.
yeah, and see, and then they're talking about you can't build, but I see they're building apartments everywhere. all over. And then how much is that rent? $900, $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 when you don't have a working class economic process to support that type of rent.
Well, you know
Okay,
the
you
cost
don't
of
have
the cost of living, or the what is it that they go by, the regular, or the income requirement that they use. You know, our income, the average income in Flint is what, $30,000 or something like that. And
and
so
it's
how
not
can
going to
you
support that type of rent. I mean,
exactly
and let me say this to you, because me and Stephanie are sharing this information with you, but the people who build these buildings, they know what your economic forecast is and how much the average person makes. They know all of this stuff. They're well aware that we have some of the highest water prices and that it's due to go up 33 to 35% and it's still not drinkable. So obviously somebody knows the plan because they're building these apartments. But I'm gonna tell you now, businesses that don't know the plan or are not included in the plan, why would they come here to stimulate our economy when we don't even have clean water after 10 years? Are you kidding me? And nobody's speaking on that. Nobody's concerned with that. We have people complaining about cancer. We have a whole street. Brownell has spoke out. Everybody on that street darn near has passed with cancer. So
Okay,
this
Carol, this
is
is the we just wanted to show this, you guys. This is a clip from Pastor Janara Lakes about our about
okay.
the
Go ahead.
that we that Carol and I, along with Tanya Burns and um Aquani, I forgot what Aquani Hartwell, we'll be mentors in that program.
So yes, roll that being footage, please.
Oh, you ready? Okay, that's what I was tapping in to see was y'all ready yet. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
finna put
we're
it on.
ready. You've gone
I
ahead
got
and
you.
wrote
Yeah,
it. So this
got
is Pastor Jannar Lakes introducing the program to the church and um, speaking on it.
Councilman Tanya Burns. Come on, let's give God praise for her. Come on, I need you to stand up so they can see who you are. Come on, let's give God praise for her being with us. Listen, we come on up here and stand with me. Come. Come on, Carol. Come. And then Dante, you come on, because we're gonna cover it all. Amen. Listen, come on, stand up here with me. So she heard about the summit that we did last Sunday. And she reached out and she said, we got to get together. And I said, okay, we got to get together. And so we went out and we had lunch. We sat down, we ate. And she says, some of the things that you're doing, they're already doing in Baltimore. And that they asked me to come down. And she says, they have these teams that go out and minister to people when there are violent scenes. They send out someone who's a social worker, a counselor, someone who's a pastor. And she says, so we're going to go down so we can look at it. And then we need to bring it back to the city. And so I thought about you. And so as we were sitting there, she says, well, what do you have for the young ladies? And I said, well, really, I don't have too much for the young ladies. We have something for, girls chat but we don't really have something for the young ladies. And she said, well, we're gonna put something together. She brought some more literature because, like I said, Spirit of Victory, I believe that God is calling us to the forefront, but we got to be ready. And we will be a part of what God is doing, that the assignment that is with us. And so there is a program, because we were talking about some solutions. So we don't get together. I know sometimes y'all think we just get together and play dominoes, but we don't. Even though I be spanking Carol, but anyway. But we be talking about what can we really do to make an impact. And so we start talking about different programs as far as carpentry and, drywall and painting and things that we can take young guys and get them involved in. And Tanya said, well, there's a program that a guy is doing on the east side, that he got a group of kids that he used, and they built 4 houses. And we going to go over and see them. And if they doing it on the east side, we're going to duplicate it to do it on the north side. And so I want you to know that when we get together, God will give you creative ideas. If you be willing to say, God, I need to be a carrier of your glory to take it to a dark world. Me and Carol had some conversations. She's running for First Ward as the councilman of First Ward. Now, what I love about these ladies, Carol done been here a few times, ain't never asked for a mic to come up to campaign. Same thing with Tanya. That they don't show up for political reasons. They show up because, God, if you're going to say something to me about what I got going on, and you're going to help support what I got going on, and you're going to strengthen my life, that's why they there. And so I want you women to know publicly, y'all got my support. They don't come and budge their way to the front. They have to sit on the front row. They sit in the back and don't say nothing. So, Father, in Jesus' name, point your hands to them. Father, if they have been touched by what happens in our community, and Father, you're raising up those that would be a voice, Father, even for the voiceless. I pray now, Holy Spirit, that you would cause them to be carriers of your glory. And that every weapon politically and spiritual wickedness in high places that have been formed against them shall not prosper. And so, Lord, we pray a hedge of protection around them, that your angels encamp around about them, that, Father, they would never grow weary or tired. But because you called them for such a time as this, we pray for their strength. We pray that you would give them the plan, Father, not only of the people, but also of your heart. We thank you that you would cause them to be carriers of your glory, that change will begin with us. We thank you for what you're doing by your Spirit, that it is marvelous in our eyes. And we give you glory and praise for it. In Jesus' name, amen. Come on, give God praise for these women. Come on, Councilman Tanya Burns.
Cut it now.
Yeah, that was a good service day. I'm at a family reunion, so if you hear a lot of feedback, I'm pulling double duty. So see my family in the back. It's a lot of them too. And this isn't even a big family reunion. We be having thousands at our family reunion. So I didn't want to miss that because I do love my family. I've been hustling so hard for this first ward council seat that I haven't done anything. I canceled my 55th birthday party because they scheduled Eric Mays' funeral the day of my birthday party. And I didn't want to miss it because he was so instrumental in how I think politically and how I deal with people and things of that nature. So I am trusting God to give me many more birthdays, but I knew he was only having one funeral. So I decided I should put myself aside. And I had a big shindig. I had a great extravaganza planned, but God knows best. And, you know, you
We'll
have to
do it
put
again.
yourself aside.
We'll
Yes.
in November we'll celebrate your birthday and that. How about
Yes,
that?
yes. So, sometimes you just have to put self aside and you have to, and they're lining up for the family picture. So that's why I'm up moving around. But sometimes you have to put your personal stuff aside. Sometimes you have to put your needs aside. A lot of times I've done that in the duty of public service, meeting the call. And I want you to know I'm dedicated in continuing to stand there in that position, making sure that the least of the first and foremost are taken care of. That's why I'm here, because my mom and my aunt, my great aunt, wanted to come. We paid our money before I even got in this race. And so I couldn't let them down. Um, And so we're here at the family reunion, but at the same time, I have an obligation to you, and I enjoy speaking with you on Fridays. So I figured I better put a plan together to try to work this thing. And so just like I put a plan together to work this thing for myself and my family and my mom and my aunt, I'll put a plan together to work this thing for you. If you give me your vote and trust me in that seat, I'm going to work my behind off to do what is best for you, because I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and there is a lot of other things that I would like to receive out of life, but I'm trusting that if I put in the work, then I will be favored, because faith without works is dead. But I want you to know I'm also just as dedicated to working for you. I would not ask for this seat if I was not, and that is my promise to you, that I will always represent for the residents first and foremost, because my mom lives in the first ward and I live in the first ward. So if I bless the first ward, then I will automatically be blessed. My family will automatically be blessed. So that's what it's about, making a better day for somebody else, making life comfortable for somebody else, doing something positive for people. And what I want for the first ward is what I want for the entire city. Like I said, it's just some things that we're not receiving as Americans. And it's just time to stop pretending like we're doing okay. We're not doing okay. I talk to so many people that are heartbroken, who are upset, who are disappointed. We had an opportunity to bless our residents, and we could have, and we should have, but for whatever reason, we did not. Um, I do believe that they are supposed to be. They ready for me? Okay. My little cousin, she's knocking on the glass, giving me the come on. So I just want to say,
Go on ahead, Carol, and I'll into go on ahead and take your picture, and then hopefully you'll be right back, and I'll handle.
well,
I'll.
they haven't. They still got a few minutes. They're still loading up. See them getting on the steps, loading up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna catch that tail end. Hopefully, we'll be off air by then. They calling for me? No? Okay. Um, so
So,
hopefully
Carol,
I'll be,
I want to have you talk about. I know you touched on your relationship with Mays, but I do want to talk about Councilman Mays. Um, some of the things that he wanted for the residents.
well, he
We
was excited.
I
Let
would
me say
love
this.
to know where
He was
where that
excited
stack of
about us
papers
getting,
that he had. Remember the stack of papers with the that? Where is that stack of paper? I want to know where that stack of papers is.
that he always had. He was always working on something for the community, but due to politics, a lot of those things didn't come to fruition. And that is sad that anybody in our local politics will stop the residents from being blessed because you don't like who they selected to be their representative. That is unprofessional. It is darn near unhuman
And it's
if you
just
can allow
petty. It's just
yourself to
petty.
be like that. But what he was looking so forward to was getting new roofs for people. And I am dedicated to that too. I want to see us do better. He also was dedicated to getting us new windows, furnaces, and I want to take it a step further and get us some sidewalks and new porches. You know, our people, our residents, they shouldn't have to beg for what the federal government has given them. Okay, it's no reason why none of those dollars made it to our community, other than the fact that our local elected officials are not working for the people. And we have to put a stop to that. And we can't keep awarding this bad behavior. We can't keep supporting these things and blame. She did this, she said this. I don't care who said what about nobody on the city council. Get the help to the residents. So what somebody talked about you? They talked about Jesus Christ. Are you greater than him? People will talk about you. People will try to hold you back. People will lie on you. But that should not get in the way of you doing your public service duty. You have to still represent the people, because those same people that you are punishing when you want to be elected, you're going to come around and grin in their face. I tell you, I don't have to like you. But if you are talking about blessing my community, if you are in my community and you need something and I can be a blessing to you, I'm going to come through for you, for the simple fact that I am going to need something. I'm going to ask God for something. And if I treat you mean and nasty, how can I expect favor in my life? But I won't take you to church. But that's just how I look at it. Those who come against me, you're going to get dealt with. And it's not necessarily for me to deal with you. Okay, I have other things to do with my time, and that's take care of myself, my family, my mother, my community, the residents that trust me, the residents that voted for me, the residents that call on me because they do know that I come through. Those are the people that I do it for. People that count on me to show up. And that's what I am dedicated and committed to doing.
You know, I witnessed another podcast where you were um kind of labeled as somebody that was hot headed and
Oh, I'm 5'5". Okay.
or
Oh,
that was
they ain't
hot
called
headed.
5'5" yet?
And I
They did.
dare say that I think a lot of people take your passion and misconstrue it. I know you and I talk, so I mean, you're full disclosure. Carol and I have been friends since Whittier, so we're not gonna tell how old we are. Just know we got some history, okay? So I just I think a lot of people misconstrue your passion, and I think some of it is just I just uh pettiness, but I think that when you're passionate about something, you want somebody that's passionate in your community to fight for you. You want somebody that's gonna that feels strongly about issues and things that are important to you. Why on earth would you want somebody that's passive and not saying anything and letting things fly by? You want somebody that's passionate and that's gonna fight. I like that you're passionate. I like when you're passionate about your community, your mom, your family. I mean, you've been passionate when I've seen you passionate about me when you felt like I was being wrong. So I think it's just hey family. But I just I hate to see you being labeled like that without truly understanding where how sincere you are and where that is coming from. Can you hear me?
You guys, and I'm so sorry if you can't hear me because it's very, very loud in here. But we're almost finished with this, so I'm going to step back out because they're calling by heist. So I still have a few minutes. But I just want to say, there's so much work to be done. And the thing about it is now at this time with this administration, we have the resources to do it. Stephanie, what is you laughing at?
And my mama, because she didn't came in
Hey,
here and
Miss Frosty.
she got her duster on. I'm like, you gonna be
Ain't nothing
okay.
like a good duster, baby. Yeah, so I'm excited because I'm with my family and I'm excited to talk to you guys. And I have flutters in my stomach because that time is drawing near. I'm putting in the work though, so I feel very good about that. I've talked to a lot of residents. I've knocked a lot of doors. I've walked a lot of streets. I've connected with a lot of community leaders about which way we go if I am blessed enough to get there. Um, and there's a lot of plans in the works, but it's so sad when people that are supposed to be making a better day for you and I block those plans because they don't like a person personally. I hope we rise above that. I hope we become mature enough to get over those types of things. There is nothing worse than a leader that will hurt the community to get at one person. I think those are many of the issues that Councilman Mays was faced with because people didn't like him personally or didn't like his style. They blocked his work because he tried to get affordable homes through HUD to the community. That was blocked. We know he fought in the water crisis. We see where we are with that. He tried to get this ARPA thing and get the money to the communities and get us some new roofs, new windows, new furnaces, and you see how that went. We have to vote for people who love the community enough to put themselves aside. I am that type of person. And we need more than just me though. We need Jan Marie out there tomorrow. So I think we have to get people like that. People that cannot like you at all, but get in there and vote with you because they know it will bless the community and the city as a whole. That's what I think a great leader is. And I do aspire to be a great leader. I don't want to just collect a check. I want to actually do the work and make a difference. That is what I want my legacy to be. My community
You
Even
are
if
a
you
leader
don't
in this
love me,
community. You are a leader in this
respect my
community,
work.
or have been a great leader in this community, and you will continue to be a great leader in this community.
Thank you, Stephanie. And because that's my goal. When I leave here, when this life is over, one fine day, I just want people to know I cared enough to put myself aside. When I think about Mr. Mays, I often cry, and I haven't done it in a long time. But it's sad when people sign up for positions and you're so petty, you won't bless the majority because you don't like one or two people. How simple is that? How simple-minded are you? So what's going on at City Council, I don't ever want to be a part of that. And I heard somebody make a comment about me leaving the Ethics and Accountability Board meetings. First of all, those meetings are over at 7 o'clock. So when 7 o'clock comes and I see you're on some nonsense and you're not trying to um, address the
Affect
complaints,
change, or is
you're
or
not trying to address the complaints, you won't
Mhm.
even look at the evidence, then yes, it's time for me to go because why would I stay? I'm there to look at complaints, look at evidence, and make decisions and to decide if you violated the charter. If we're going to be derelict in that duty, then there's no reason for me to be there to argue with you and to tell lies and to validate your nonsense. I was there for the people. That's it. The people. So we got 5:56, Stephanie. Is it anything else you'd like to say?
First of all, I want to say once again, First Ward, please get out and vote. Um,
Yes.
it's very important that you get out and vote. We have a squatter in that seat right now. We need to get Carol in there for first. She is First Ward candidate for City Council. We need her in there. So we can affect change in the First Ward and try to get the First Ward moving again. Walking doors with Carol. I've met some awesome people in the First Ward. I did, full disclosure, I did not grow up in the First Ward. I actually grew up like in the Seventh Ward, but I have friends and things
But
that
every time I looked up, she was in the first ward partying,
we're not gonna
and,
talk about that. But anyway,
and,
I just
and
want
look
to
at pop
say,
locking. Remember that stuff? And pop
bro,
locking every
I
time
was
we
doing the
look up.
shake. I was doing the shake.
Look, because the first ward was where it was at when I was growing up. Okay, I went to Whittier Middle School, and my friends on the south side, when we come back Monday, what did you do? We went over on the north side,
Yeah,
and we went to
Carol
the
House.
car wash, and we did. They be geeked up to come to the north
Mhm.
side because the north
We
side was
did.
what was happening. I mean, we
But
were a
yeah,
black money making mecca over there, and there were some white people over there getting money too. There were plenty of white businesses. That didn't matter because it was about the economics. It was
mhm.
about the financial stability.
everybody
It was
was
about
everybody was working together and partaking, and we don't see that in Flint now. We're more divided than we are together. We still have a lot of we've taken we've moved backwards instead of moving forward, and it is time to get things moving again in a
it
positive
is.
direction. Um, I think you added on to city council would be a good thing. So you got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm about my young people. I say it all the time. I love young people. They are our future. You can count them out if you want to, but those will be the people making decisions for you tomorrow. So you can not lead by example if you choose to. I promise you, we will suffer if we don't do what we're supposed to do for our communities, for our seniors who have laid the foundation and put in the work for us. That's sad too, because we saw good leadership. And there's no reason for us to be where we are now. But I do want to leave something behind for the ones coming behind us. The fact that I've been shown how to be a positive leader, I like to show somebody else that because when I'm too old to make decisions for myself, I want somebody competent in those seats. I want somebody that can follow the law and the rules in those seats. And I also want to say, let's vote for somebody in the White House with that same attitude. Let's vote for Kamala, okay? Because we've seen what Donald Trump is going to do for us. We've seen that. Let's not forget, we were in the middle of COVID. He lied about that and had his COVID shot and wouldn't even tell us. Okay, and many people died. Let's not forget about January 6th. Let's not forget that he grabbed women by the cat. All of those things are unacceptable to me. Okay. We need
Absolutely.
leaders trying to make sure that we are economically strong. We need leaders to make sure that the American dream is for everybody who has the will and the strength to partake in it. We need leaders that will stand up for us.
You know what,
So,
Carol? Me and you are cat ladies. We're women that don't have no kids.
oh, I'm a cat lady. That's all right. That's all right. I had no kids, but I guarantee you, I done took care of plenty, and I got plenty of kids to love me.
Absolutely, we have to. I have
My
to.
niece just my niece just told me today. She said she's so thankful for me because she don't know what would have happened if I wouldn't have been there for her. She works for Apple and she works for Starbucks and she's in college. So that's who I do it for. I got two little cousins here. They're engineers now. I remember when they was just little snotty nosed kids running around at the family reunion knocking down everybody's drinks. Now they're tech kings. They one of them is working for uh-oh. C RCR or somebody like that. I done messed that up, so I ain't gonna tell no stories. But they're working for some tech companies and they're doing well. That's what I like. I like to see my little kids with their little hair, fuzzy, and they don't care if they got dirt on their shirt, grow up to be classy leaders and innovative thinkers and productive Americans doing what they're supposed to do and living the American dream. That is what I am pouring into the opportunity for seniors to live the retirement dream, because that was called the golden years. Ain't nothing golden about it when you got your roof leaking and your sidewalk tore up. So some stuff got to be done about that. So Mickey's popping on with the sawdust
That
fast.
means we gotta wrap it up. El
So that means
Jefe,
wrap it
El
up.
Jefe pops on, and we gotta wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us this week. This has been a community conversation. Again, I hope I can get your support on August 6th at the poll. My name is Carol McIntosh. I am running for your first ward city council seat, and I hope that you will give me your support. And I guarantee you, I will represent for you, and I will not let you down. Peace.
Thanks
And that's my
everybody for
co-host,
joining
Stephanie.
us. Thanks everybody for joining us. Get out and vote
So we'll
August
see you.
6th.
Go ahead,
Ho-
Steph.
Hopefully we'll see you next week with some victorious news. Have a good day. And
Thank
thanks
you.
everybody for joining.
Yes, we'll see you
Peace.
next Friday.